Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Young and Restless Mini Spotlight. I am your host, James Lott Jr., and this is our audio podcast where we talk all things CBS's number one daytime drama for 8,000 years running, Young and the Restless, on CBS. Of course, you can follow us on iTunes. We're also on Spreaker.com, and I did apply for iHeartRadio, so keep your fingers crossed, because our Bold and Beautiful mini spotlight just got approved for that. So it's like, these things they're working out. But on those things, people actually listen to the podcast, and an actual ear listens to them, and that's how they approve them. So we have some good episodes. And I have another good episode today. I have a guest who he's been on, I think he's been on every show I've done just about. In the soap world, because I like just bring him along for everything because he's so good. Mr. Walker Ragsdale. Hi, Walker.
Hello, James. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. So, I like to bring Walker around because he has a large knowledge of soaps like I do. And of course, you fans love him. So, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the storylines that are going on. I want his opinion, kind of some things that you guys brought up to me that we're going to kind of answer. Walker, so one of the things that people were bringing up, and my brother and I actually had this conversation too as longtime YR fans, was it necessary? I'm really curious to hear what your thought is. And we've had Max Shippey on this show, who plays Graham. He's a great guy, and I'll probably have him back on again soon. He's a great guy. He's been on this program. Was it necessary to bring up the whole Ashley as an Abbott storyline?
Okay, so my issue with that is, in the moment, the scenes, they were pretty good, but there was no payoff. I know back in the Bill Bell days, he believed in, you tell a story, you don't, you let it linger for years, you don't, automatically give the payoff, keep them waiting. Mm-hmm. But 30 years later, John isn't on the show. YNR has done such a disservice to the character of Ashley that it's not a scandal anymore in 2017.
That's true, and it was funny, as like you said, some of the scenes were amazing, and I mean all the actors involved are amazing. There was a quiet scene with Jack and Tracy talking, and Beth Maitland. I've met her before; she's super nice in real life. They're seeing because they've been on-screen siblings for so long and on the show. It was a nice little scene just talking about how she didn't know and how she kind of felt about that a little bit. Her and Abby felt about that a little bit. And I thought, and it was a matter of fact scene. It wasn't anything dramatic. It was just like, I wish you had told me. I see why you didn't say anything because the dad. I mean, it was kind of like, I love those moments on soaps, and we don't always get those.
I will say it was almost like they was writing Eileen an Emmy episode because she was incredible.
Yes.
During those scenes, the only thing that was kind of jarring was that if you are going to go that route and do this big thing and have the family and everyone, why did they put Billy? Why did they separate Billy and have him in scenes with Phyllis and Michael discussing it? Why wasn't Billy at the Abbott house with with Tracy and Abby and Jack?
I agree.
So that to me was just like, why is Billy relegated to discussing it with people who it was like gossiping. They were, oh my God, did you hear that? I can't believe it, girl.
Yeah.
So that was my only issue, but the acting was amazing. Eileen was absolutely amazing. It was almost like there was a reminder of, yes, if you give me the work, I can do great work on this show. And just the character of Ashley has just been so misused and underutilized that a big secret coming out now, I don't think it has the same impact as it been maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago if it came out.
Yeah, there is that missing. It was the same thing that happened when they did the whole finally Lily is Malcolm's daughter. There was no Drusilla.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when you have a huge void of a person who would bring the storyline together and you have that missing thread, like I understand that you have to try to make it work as you go, but it's not the same.
Well, in that case, it kind of had to, because Victoria Rowell, who plays Drusilla, and CBS are really in good terms. So she wasn't, even though I'll give Victoria Rowell credit, she's always pushed to come back on the show. She loves the role of Drusilla and was always pushing to come back on, but I know that's not happening anytime soon. Allegedly. That's like Kathy Griffin. Allegedly.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I know that was going to happen, but I agree. It was like this weird thing. It was like there was no John Abbott, that's who would have impacted the most. He's not on the show anymore. So it's like, okay, even though, okay, side note, we would have got Marla Adams back, and she's been doing great as Gina.
Yeah,
Yes, tell it, Walker. Tell me how you. I want you to tell me how you feel. Tell me.
No, you know what? Actually, the actress is doing a great job. I just think this storyline, I don't know if it was because Sally started and Mal had to take it over, or it was weak. It was weak Kool-Aid the whole time.
I love it. Okay, we'll go to the next storyline I want to ask you about, because someone brought this up, because this is an eternal thing. I am a full-on Billy Phyllis fan. I think they should be together. I know folks that don't think that, and he goes back and forth with Victoria. What is your feeling on that?
When they first was doing the sneaking around, I was obsessed with Billy and Phyllis. But somewhere along the line, they have lost. It's lost its spark for me.
Okay.
I can't. I don't know if it's the writing. I think it's just too much of adding him in Victoria's orbit. It's lost a little of its shine. I'm not as, I don't enjoy them as much anymore.
Well, do you want them together, or do you want? I mean, like in the long run, in the end game, who is your end game thing for them?
In the long run, I would like them together, but it just makes they're having so many scenes with Phyllis and Jack being all smiley at each other and sweet. So I kind of feel like maybe they're going to end up going back to that.
Do you like this Phyllis? Gina Tognoni's Phyllis?
Yeah, I think she's doing she's doing what she can do. I don't. I'm trying to think of who else you could have gotten that.
Well, they didn't bring back Sandra Nelson, who played her for a minute. They didn't bring her back.
That's good. That's nuts.
Yeah, they didn't bring that. I mean, Phyllis is such a complex character. I mean, Michelle Stafford, our buddy, of course, played it so well for so long. I was thinking, what's her name? I was thinking Jamie Luner.
You know what? I was thinking her too, just because of obviously like the hair.
Yeah, so.
But I feel like she got so much hate because she was cast as Liza.
Yeah.
That she was cast Liza on All My Children for people who made out.
Oh yes.
I feel like she would have maybe gotten a little bit of that backlash.
No, that's true. I guess she could have, but she's a good actress though. She could play the crazy.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if it's the writing or the actor's choices, but Gina Phyllis isn't as complex as she used to be to me.
I agree.
I think maybe early in her run when they had her come back, and then when the whole fallout with finding out about Marco and Jack, and when Victor's trial, she really brought energy and fire.
Yeah.
But it's been far and few between moments for me.
Yeah. Another thing people have been asking about, because of course I do the Bold Breakdown mini spotlight and Bold Breakdown rewind, and Homegirl's been killing it. Should Sheila make an appearance on Young and the Restless, or should Lauren make an appearance on Bold and the Beautiful? Where should the reunion be? Where should the reunion be? I know it's tough.
I know it's tough. I think greater impact would be Sheila coming to YNR, because to tell that story fully, it would require too many people from YNR to go to Bold and Beautiful, because you would need
Scotty.
to tell the story correctly. You would need Michael. You would need Scotty. You would throw in Paul. You would throw in Phyllis, just because of the whole, if they decided to touch on that, or
that's right.
Completely forget that she had Phyllis's face, but Scotty, Paul, Lauren, and Michael, maybe they will take 4 people over to the show, but I just think that, Sheila coming over would have a greater impact for YNR.
I think I'm going to ask people online, see what they think about that. I'm really curious what they think, too. I just wrote that down. Because you make a good point, because once they brought Scotty back, I was like, ooh, Scotty. Like, that's very interesting.
But then I just thought about it. If we brought Sheila over to tell that whole story fully, then you would need to bring Eric and Quinn, so
yes,
they
you
could
would
be involved. So,
yes.
so either way, it would be it would involve a significant part of a cast.
It's just interesting that this, again, we're talking like almost 30 years later, how big this storyline was a long time ago, and how it impacted. I mean, God, they were so smart when they did that. It was one of the smartest decisions they made to do that. And this chick has gone back and this character's gone back and forth for years. It's so funny.
Yeah, I wonder if that's hurting us now, because it was so smart and it was so good back then, that we look at this story now, and I'm not, when she first came on, it was exciting because no one knew, it was a surprise.
Yeah.
But we're at the point now where it's just like, to me, that storyline's just treading water. I know this isn't the bold breakdown, but but it's not going anywhere.
Well, here's something that's interesting. I mean, in a way, they actually kind of, I'm a spoiler alert for anybody. I'm not going to give you too much of the spoilers, but on A Bold and Beautiful, Sheila's story, a portion of a storyline is kind of coming to an end. And it might, and not that Sheila's not down and out for the count. I mean, trust me, the bitch is going to do something, I'm sure, to retaliate. But a major plot point has been kind of uncovered and closed, so to speak. So yeah, I'm curious if they do more with Miss Kimberly Brown, who plays Sheila, who's also running for office. Everybody knows that she's running for office too, here in California. So
yeah, I feel like our time with her is slowly,
I agree,
going to be coming to an end.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because you brought her back in such a great way, and then there's a huge story thread that just never got told.
Yeah, I agree.
And what's Lauren doing? We don't have Lauren doing anything.
I see.
This for YNR fans, if you're a Lauren and Michael fan, or even a Lauren fan from years, like having her discovering Sheila's alive and living near Eric, that's storyline potential for Tracy Bergman.
I know, and that's the thing. Just send her over there, Dan. Send her over there, and let her, you're not gonna use her on YNR. Give her a job over there, and just deal with that. I mean, I agree with you on that one. It's just like, plus, you and I both get it. They each have large casts. They have to be rotated out. Everybody has guarantees. We get all that, but sometimes they're just storylines just staring you right in the face, and I'm like, just
and I wonder if this storyline, if this had happened a couple of years ago, I'm not sure, how much fans know about behind the scenes, but before the Bells lost, ownership of YNR, and when the shows were much closer under that one Bell umbrella, it was easier to do crossovers. I feel like they haven't done a crossover, and it's been, has to be plus more than 10 years.
No, I think they did one. Okay, so folks, tweet at me, write comment if you know it, because I want to say Justin Barber went over, or not Justin, what's her name, crossed over to Bold and Beautiful. Olivia Barber. I want to say that was like 5-6 years ago. I think she came over and we found her and Justin were cousins. But they never, and me and Aaron D. Spears, who's been a guest several times on my Bold and Beautiful shows, we talked about that, how they didn't do the potential of that fully. But I think she stopped by in L.A., I think. I could be wrong. I think that was within the last 10 years, I think. But you're right. Other than that, they haven't done much.
No.
But there was that. I want to say there was that. So I don't. Yeah, that's a good point. And it shows. And if you guys don't know this, they film in Television City. They film across the hall from each other, basically. So they're in the same building. So they all see each other in the same building, and it just so there's no logistical thing you have to worry about. It's all right there.
It's logistical, and I think it might be a little bit of egoism as well. That you know.
What's funny, both shows are so interesting. Both shows are hits. They're the number one, number two shows in the country, but Bold and Beautiful's number one show in the world. Young and the Restless number one show in the country for 28, 30 years. So it's very interesting how they both are at the top of their game in their genre, but in very different ways.
It's also interesting that they all are under the Sony umbrella,
right?
And Days and YNR, who are both Sony, but on two different networks, share Eileen
right
more than what Bold and Beautiful YNR does. That's the surprising thing to me, is that you're sharing your actors with a show that's on a whole different network versus your sister show.
Yeah, it's funny because because she also has been on Bold and Beautiful, folks. You just remember she was on there briefly. No, it's funny. You're right, because it's funny when she was doing Real Housewives, that made sense. Bravo's part of, and they're all the same umbrella there. So it's like, okay, if she's on a Bravo show, chances Bravo people watch NBC soap, Days of Our Lives. It kind of all makes sense. Her and Lisa Rinna. So I agree with you, but they seem to have no problem letting her go back and forth. Like, there's no problem.
Which is why it doesn't make sense that they don't have Lauren. Because,
right.
I'm sorry to keep jumping so far.
No, I love it.
Talk about YNR. But, Eileen is showing up on Days this week as Susan.
Yes.
So the fact that YNR could share Eileen to do those Days taping, why can't they share Tracy Bergman to take Lauren to Bold and Beautiful? Or maybe Brad doesn't want to tell that part of the story. Maybe he wants to leave it in two different, parallels, or well, that was then and this is now.
Yeah, that's you have a good point. That's a part of it. It's so hard because I'm a writer myself, and I look at these things. Nothing I can write a soap or anything, nothing at all. But it's like I look at these things and I go, wow, I see storyline, and I have a way I would write it. I can kind of see it. I know who I want to include. But you're right. I mean, it's all up to the actual writers who want to tell the stories. There's a million stories you can tell. That's the embarrassment of riches of soaps. There are 8 million stories you can tell out of several characters. It's like, which ones do you pick? And you may pick one, I may pick one, and they obviously pick another one, and it'll all be different. So I guess I'm always having, as a soap fan, I'm always hoping the storylines are going to be entertaining, make sense, continuity, be good. But sometimes I'm like, I wish it was this story. I wish this is still hanging. So it goes back to almost the beginning of the show. We're talking about how certain stories are hanging out there that don't get finished, so to speak, or don't have a completion. Do you go back and tell those, or you leave them alone? While there's some you wish there was a completion. It's all like it's like a dog chasing his tail, I guess.
Well, it would almost be to bring it back to more YNR and keep it modern. It would be telling the whole it's not Connor. What's the other boy? That the boy isn't Nick and shit Sage. That it's Nick and
Kevin. Not Kevin. That's Bella. And Adam.
Yeah. No, but what's Connor is Adam and Chelsea.
Yes.
Sage and Nick's little boy, or
that kid. Oh, I totally forgot his name.
Yeah.
Tell us, folks on there. This is this podcast. Tell me what his name is. But we get old. We do a lot of stuff. We forget sometimes. But yes.
But that's like telling that story now. Okay, well, if the story came out, Sharon tells. It's only affecting. Okay, it'll affect Sharon because she was guilty of telling the story, and maybe Chelsea a little bit because she's with Nick, and it would affect Nick. That story's unless you have. I'm not saying bring Sage back for a bit, but telling that story without an Adam it's just gonna fall flat. Like, there's certain stories that you just need those characters there for a full payoff.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can see that, Grim. And that's where we're going to end our quick little podcast. I can talk to you forever, Walker. So I'll always be calling on Walker for certain shows. He's my pitch hitter. He's the closer. I know I can just call him and he'll just work it out for me. on these shows. So thank you for being on this show, of course, as always.
No, of course.
Tell folks where they can find you on social media.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter. I am Walker R.
That's right. And actually, are you working on anything? Anything you want to announce or anything you're working on, or you're just kind of?
You know, a lot of little things
Good.
in the oven. Just
Good.
you know, once
Good.
believe me, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Good. I'm very excited for you. Good. Now, of course, you can follow me at James Lott Jr. Where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold. My latest book is called Becoming a Hardy. It's my bestseller ever that I've ever put out. I put out 8 books. It's my fastest selling, most selling book ever. Them Hardys and non-Hardys, I know, start buying it too. So if you're a soap fan, check it out, because I talk about fandom and how a show kind of affect my life professionally and personally. And the soaps have done that for me my whole life, of course, too. So that book's out on Amazon, of course. My new single is called Inglewood is the Place. It's a song about my hometown of Inglewood, California. That's on iTunes. And, of course, I'm the James Lott Jr., where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold on all social media platforms. If there's a topic or anything you want to discuss or like to have me discuss on Y&R Mini Spotlight, go ahead and comment. You know, tell me what's going on. And any guests you'd like to see, again, tell me who you'd like to see on the show, and I'll see if I can get them. Because they are out there. They are all out there. So you guys enjoy your soap for the rest of this week, and I'll talk to you next time.